You look perfectly idiotic in those clothes.
These aren't my clothes.
Well, where are your clothes?
I've lost my clothes.
But why are you wearing these clothes?
Because I just went gay all of a sudden.
My name is Eileen Ma, and I am currently the Executive Director of API Equality LA. We're a grassroots coalition working on LGBT equality issues, particularly in the Asian and Pacific Islander community. So I came out really later in life by today's standards. I was already 28 when I discovered my sexuality myself. It was actually a pretty unexpected and kind of jarring thing. I didn't really understand it as an identity that could be me or something that I could be. Then I met my partner, and there was just a different feeling. Like I think that there was a different kind of attraction and love and kind of excitement about knowing her, and I think that from there it became very easy and clear. Just, I think, meeting someone who was of my same gender and feeling really connected and not feeling like there was anything horrible or wrong about it, and just realizing that it would be silly to discriminate myself, against this feeling. The first thing I felt like I needed to do was to sort of talk to my family about it. I didn't want this to be the thing that would break our relationship. The whole coming out process in a family is a really long-term one. Like, it's not like, and I've learned this, or I'm convinced of this more and more as I'm doing work here at API Equality LA, that it's not like a one-time thing, right? You don't come out and then, oh, I'm done with that, they get it, we get it, it's all set. I framed it more as a question. We used to talk on the phone periodically. So I definitely did it over the phone, and I think I talked to my sister first. Well, I have this friend, and I have these feelings about this friend. Don't you have feelings about your girlfriends like that? And she was like, no, I don't. So something like that, I think I didn't have the words for it. My sister has always been really supportive of my life. Because people or my family could tell it was something I was grappling with, I think it made them sort of more supportive, kind of able to talk about it. Right, because it was less of a shock almost. It was like, oh, this is some challenge that she's having, and I want to be supportive of that. And then my dad is not a big phone talker.
Goodbye.
So, I don't remember that. I can only imagine that was a brief discussion. Actually, my dad feels like he kind of knew it, was kind of just waiting for me to come out. My mom was kind of sad for the things that she thought that I would not have because, I'm queer. I do remember my mom saying, I remember, I think, asking my mom, well, how does that make you feel? And I remember she said that she felt sad about it. Despite that sadness and maybe lack of full understanding, I think they really struggled to be supportive. And then I think from that point, it's been an ongoing process. So I think at the beginning, it was really my parents really sort of wanted to select who they told, and I was actually very comfortable with that because it was a very kind of new thing for me as well. And then it was only later, after a few years, that it started to feel more important to me that sort of anyone who would know anything else about me would know this thing about myself, or why should it be a held secret? What I remember the most is realizing that they had to go through a process to feel comfortable being out as parents of a gay person. And recognizing that I needed to help them with that and also let them know that that was important to me. There's a way in which Asian communities, we don't talk about sexuality or sex. Some of it seems cultural, right? Like there's like a way in which there are these taboo subjects where you just don't go there. It's like a need to know. Why do you need to talk about those things? Those are seen as private things, and people aren't necessarily ready to fully acknowledge it, right? And then let alone talk about it with your family, right? Why would you ever talk about that with your parents? But I think my parents are actually so far beyond that now. They're very ready to say to their friends, oh, my daughter and her partner, they try and I think, out themselves on that level, even knowing it might be a little uncomfortable, or that people don't know what to do with that. And I have to say, my parents are exceptionally supportive of this organization and my work as well. So they have come and done, our major donor appreciation events, and are always ready to support and help however.